Hey, what is up? It's Bianca back with another guitar tutorial. This time we are learning a total throwback from Shawn Mendes. We are learning Stitches today. I'm so excited to use the song because it is super fun to play. There's kind of a lot going on, but don't let that scare you off. But before we get started with the guitar tutorial, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on your chance to learn some of your favorite songs on guitar. But without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So the first thing you need to know to play Stitches by Shawn Mendes on guitar is you need your guitar in standard tuning with your capo on the first fret. There are only 4 chords you need to know to play this song. One of them is a bar chord, but don't fret, don't worry. I will teach you 2 alternative ways to play this chord so you do not have to bar it. There are 2 beginner strumming patterns that I'm going to show you that work perfectly if you are a complete beginner. And then there are 4 other strumming patterns I'm going to show you. It sounds harder than it is, but trust me, it's not that difficult. There are 3 picking/plucking patterns I'm going to show you as well, and 3 chord progressions. But this song really isn't as difficult as it may sound. So, without further ado, let's get into the 4 chords you need to know. Alright, so first up we have A minor, G major, C major, and our dreaded bar chord, the F major. Or you can play F major open, or F major 7, which is what I used to play when the F major scared the bejesus out of me. That is your main chord progression. Like I said, there are 2 other chord progressions that I will show you as we go further in depth in the tutorial. But right there, how I taught you the chords, that is the main chord progression that you will use for this song. So let's get into those strumming patterns that I will show you. So starting with your beginner patterns, the first one is just a single down strum per chord. I recommend this if you are an absolute beginner because it helps you kind of stay on the beat for your chord changes, and it gives you more time to switch between your chords. So starting on your A minor chord, let's strum out these chords together. So A minor, just single down strumming it. It's a G major, C major, F major, and you can play it just like that throughout the entire song. Works perfect if you're a beginner. Our next beginner strumming pattern that I'm going to show you is a down strum, so like we just did, followed by a mute. So this is also very simple, very beginner. It just adds a little bit more of a beat to it if you're performing it and you're still a beginner and you're still learning. It just kind of adds more of that beat to it if you want to kind of amp it up a little bit, but you're not ready to try out the other strumming patterns. So it would sound like this, putting on your A minor chord, down, mute, G major, down, mute, C major. I thought that I've been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this hard. Your words cut deeper than a knife. And you can play it just like this throughout the entire song. Our next strumming pattern I don't even use in my playthrough at the end, but it is a strumming pattern that you can replace picking with, because if you listen to the song, you hear in that intro first verse that there's a bit of a picking line going on there, and this is perfect if you want to amp up those guitar playing without actually using the picking or plucking pattern. And it's just down, up, 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 up. So down, up, 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 down, up, 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 up. Now I know there's a lot of up strums going on there. The trick to that is just kind of to circle your arm around without hitting the strings as you're going back down. So putting on your A minor chord, we're just going to go through the motion. So we're going to stick on that A minor chord just to get the strumming pattern down a little bit. So it's down, up, 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 down, up, 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 up. Alright, if you need to, practice it up a little bit and then come back and we will add in the rest of the chords. So adding in your chord progression, it'll sound like this. Down, up, 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 G major, C major, F major, I thought that I'd been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. And you can play it just like that throughout the first verse. Our next strumming pattern is a very, very common, popular strumming pattern. It's played in tons of songs. For example, Treat You Better by Shawn Mendes uses this one a lot as well. If you want to learn that song on guitar, leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know. But anyways, so your strumming pattern here is down, down, up, down, up. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And this is a strumming pattern that works perfectly throughout the entire song. If you don't want to do the picking, if you don't want to do the other strumming patterns that I'm going to show you, this one literally works perfect if this is a strumming pattern that you feel comfortable doing. So putting on your A minor chord, let's just go through the motions. So down, down, up, down, up. So let's add in the chords. This is a strumming pattern that I personally like to use for the pre-chorus. So we're going to add in that chord progression. Our chord progression changes for the pre-chorus. So we're going to start on our F major chord. Your chord progression is right here so that you don't get lost, so you can play it with me. So it's down, down, up, down, up. A minor. Right there, you don't go back to that G major chord, you just single down strum on that A minor, and that leads you into the chorus. So again, that strumming pattern I like to use for the pre-chorus, but you can use it throughout the entire song if that is something that you want to do. So our next strumming pattern is a little more complicated. It is down, up, mute, down, up, down, up. So it'll sound like this. Down, up, mute, down, up, down, up, down, up, mute, down, up, down, up. Now, this strumming pattern in my opinion, would not work for the entire song. I like to use it for the chorus. That's where the song is at its peak. That is where the song is the most amped up. And this strumming pattern has a little more of that going on. Going back to your main chord progression, starting on the A minor, going through the motions, it'll sound like this. Down, up, mute, down, up, down, up. Alright, now let's add in the rest of the chords. It'll sound like this. Starting on your A minor, down, up, mute, down, up, G major, C major, F major, A minor, D major. Right here you go to the F major, and then C major, and then it's back to normal. me bleed until I can't breathe. I'm shaking, falling onto my knees. And now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches, tripping over myself. I'm aching, begging you to come help. And now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches. Alright, and that brings us to our last strumming pattern, which I like to play in the second verse and the bridge, where your chord progression is the main chord progression. It's the same thing. So your strumming pattern is down, 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 down. So it's 8 down strums. It'll sound like this. Down, 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 down. And to add a little bit of dynamic into the strumming pattern, I like to emphasize the first, the fourth, and the seventh down strum, so that it creates more of that percussive, dynamic beat going on there. And you do palm mute this pattern. So what that means is you take this part of your hand and rest it on the strings close to the bridge of your guitar to create kind of that percussive effect. And putting on your A minor chord, going through the motions, it'll sound like this. Down, 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 down. As you progress further into the bridge, that is when you strum harder. You still palm mute, but you amp it up a little bit, because that is what they do in the track for the song. Because that is when Shawn Mendes starts singing louder, the music gets louder, and you just kind of want to take that and roll with it. Alright, now we know all the strumming patterns I have for you. Let's get into the 3 picking/plucking patterns that I have for you. So I will start off with the easiest one. Each chord you would play the bass note of the chord plus the B string, and then you would mute it. So for the A minor and the C major, it would be A string plus the B string and then mute. For the G major and the F major, it'd be the E string plus the B string and then mute. But if you are using an alternate F chord, the bass note for the F major 7 is the A string, and the bass note for the F major open chord is the D string. So then you would use that as the bass note. So it looks like this. So putting on your A minor chord, it's very simple, very mellow. Now, if that is a little too easy for you, you can play it twice, so it would be quicker. So it's the same thing, but it'd be... I thought that I've been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. The next one I have for you is a picking pattern, and it is your bass note and then G, B, G. And you play it twice, so it is kind of quick. It would go like this, starting on your A minor chord. I thought that I'd been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. now our final picking pattern, which is the one that I use in the cover because it sounds closest to the track. It is your bass note, and then you pluck the G and the B string at the same time, and you do that 4 times. So it's the bass note and then G plus B, 1, 2, 3, 4. So putting on your A minor chord all together, it would sound like this. I thought that I've been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. Alright, so with this song, I encourage you to play around with it. Play around with each picking and plucking pattern, each strumming pattern. See what works the best for you and just roll with it, because this song is one that you can have fun with. It's one that you can really experiment with and see which works best for you. But now that we know everything we need to know to play this song, you know all the strumming patterns, all the picking patterns, let's get into the full playthrough. But I think I'm forgetting something. That's better. Now we look like we were a part of the Stitches music video. Because, you know, now we look like we need stitches. Okay, I'm done being corny. Let's get on with the playthrough. I thought that I've been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore. Your words cut deeper than a knife. Now I need someone to breathe me back to life. Got a feeling that I'm going under, but I know that I'll make it out alive. If I quit calling you my lover and move on, you watch me breathe until I can't breathe. I'm shaking, falling onto my knees, and now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches, tripping over myself. I'm naked, begging you to come out, and now that I'm without your kisses, I'll be needing stitches, just like a moth drawn to a flame. Oh, you love me, and goodness sakes, the pain. Your bitter heart cold to the touch. Now I'm gonna reap what I sow. I'm left seeing red on my own. Got a feeling that I'm going under, but I know that I'll make it out alive. If I quit calling you my lover and move on, you watch me bleed until I can't breathe.